Yo, YouTube, we do it all straight from the garage. Got a 2008 Honda Pilot, and we got a couple misfires and valve cover gaskets leaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this valve cover gasket replaced. See, the valve covers are under the intake, so the intake has to come off, which is here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take this intake tube off. I already released the wire from the throttle body. Just press down and pull it. This one was kind of brittle. But yeah, so we'll get this intake hose taken off, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back. All right, y'all. So I took the intake hose off and also removed the throttle body. It's 4 12mm bolts. And the reason I removed it is because one of these lines has antifreeze coming out of it, and I don't feel like fooling with it. Gasket's still decent, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'll have to remove this piece here. This electrical clip can come out. Okay, I took that off. I'll take this off here along with this hose. Got a hose back here. And looks like we got this little motor up here, so we'll have to go ahead and remove this electrical connection. Remove this vent tube here. And then we should be ready to pull the throttle body off. So I'll go ahead and get those things removed. So we got that wire there. We got a hose back there. We got this hose here along with this piece, which is 2 10mm bolts. And then we should be able to start taking the intake off. So I'll be back. All right, y'all. So got that piece removed. And then I removed this upper intake. This piece here has a metal gasket, so you could probably reuse it if it's not too bad. But then inside of here, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 bolts you have to remove to get the intake off. So we'll remove these 10 bolts. They look like 14s. Remove these 10 bolts, and then we should be able to lift the intake out. And that should give us access to the valve cover. So I'll be back. All right, so I got those 10 bolts removed, and the intake came right out. Lift it right up. So what you want to do now, you want to cover up. Oh, here's the gasket. Once again, we got metal gaskets, so we can reuse those. They look in really good condition. So what I'm gonna do now is just cover up this intake, cover these holes up, just so I can make sure I don't drop nothing in there, because that's a fatal mistake that a lot of people, sometimes when they get busy and they don't cover these holes up, you'll get dust and dirt, or maybe even drop something in there. And if you do that, that can cause engine failure and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we want to go ahead and cover these up, which I'm gonna do now. All right, so I got everything covered up with blue painter's tape, and now I'm gonna pull this this bar off of here, and then pull each wire from each coil pack, which will give me access to the plugs. And I'll pull the coil packs also. Those look like they are hex. Yeah, they're hex bolts. So I'll figure out the size in a second. And then the valve cover is held on by these bolts here. There looks like 8 of them. So we'll take those bolts off, and we should be able to get the front valve cover off. The rear valve cover is the same process. Might be a little bit more difficult to get to because of where it is, but all in all, we'll get it taken off here in a second. So I'll be back. All right, y'all. So I got the coil packs out. They're right there. And this was a 6mm hex to get those bolts out. So now I'll take this rail off. It looks like 2 10mm bolts, and then I'll take the valve cover bolts off. They also look to be 10mm, and I'll be back. All right, and the front valve cover is off. So if you look in here, it's pretty clean for a vehicle with 150,000 miles on it. So they've been taking care of it. Everything looks decent. Probably have to clean this valve cover out a little bit, but the kit will come with the gasket and these O-rings. So you want to replace the gasket and those O-rings and put it back on. It's the same process for the back. Just do it. Take the bolts out, pull the coil packs out, and you should be good. So just a little quick video on a Honda Pilot, how to do the plugs. The plugs are in these tubes. So I'll go ahead and remove the plugs while I have it out, put the new plugs in. But other than that, should be pretty straightforward. So we do it all straight from the garage. Appreciate y'all. Peace. All right, y'all, so got the back valve cover off. I just wanted to go over a few things. There's a couple connections to release, one here, and then, of course, the coil packs. There's two 10mm bolts that hold this in. One is on this side, this is the driver's side, and one is in the front on the passenger side. And then there's a clip right here. If you release this clip, it'll allow you some movement. So once you take the bolts out of the valve cover, you'll be able to kind of move this and bring the valve cover out through here. So I just wanted to throw that in there. This car, for the mileage, it's really clean under here, so I could tell the customer definitely changed their oil and kept it maintenance up. Also wanted to take a look at the valve cover, kind of show you guys. So when you get the kit comes with these oil seals. There's 3 of them here. Come with the oil seals, and it comes with these, and those go on the bolts. So I'll just show you real quick. Grab these bolts. One more. All right. So these bolts, they can be a pain to get this piece off right here. What all you got to do is remove this rubber grommet on the inside, right? If you pry it out of the metal housing, then you can just cut it and take it off. And that's what I did with the other ones. As far as these grommets are concerned, if you take a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, put it right there on the edge, hit it a couple times, it'll go down into the grommet, then you can pry the grommet out. So I just wanted to kind of show y'all that. With the bolts and with these 3 seals that go over the spark plug tubes. But as you can see, this valve cover is completely clean, so I love it. I love the fact that the customer's been taking care of the car. And when you put these gaskets in, they make it pretty simple for you. These gaskets, let me show you real quick. They have these grooves right here, and the grooves can only go in one way. So when you're putting it in, just make sure you line the grooves up. And then on this end that's elevated on the rear valve cover gasket, go ahead and put a little silicone on the edges. Right on the edges. Put it on the block in the car, of course, but right on the edge of the head, throw some silicone on there to keep that from leaking. Well, other than that, man, see, I just pull this out. A little tough on the edge there. Yeah, and as you can see, they have silicone on this one too. So definitely go ahead and throw some silicone on there just to keep it from leaking at those little edges. And then you can go ahead and put your new gasket in. As long as it doesn't break, you just wipe it out and throw the gasket in. I'm gonna throw some brake clean on it just to clean it out. And then I'll clean the outside. I'll put everything back together and get it put back together. So we do it all straight from the garage. Just wanted to do a little quick video on these seals for the spark plug tubes and these rubber grommets that go over the bolts. Remember, just separate the metal piece from the rubber, and then once you get the rubber out, you can take some pliers and just twist it. And as you can see, it'll just break because they're brittle, they're old. So, and the new ones, just put a little WD-40 of grease in the middle and slide them right back over that notch, and you'll be good to go. We do it all straight from the garage. Peace.